touring cars or the GT cars, tin top cars, they will get very, very humid and hot inside as the official car of the 67th Macau Grand Prix leads the field around on the formation lap. BMW providing the official cars. They had a good opportunity, quite a lot of cars as well, provided by BMW to be the official car for this year between 6:30 local time and I beg your pardon, between 7:30 and 8:30 this morning. There was opportunity for all of the BMW official vehicles, two of them at the back, the medical cars at the rear of the field, had opportunity to do quite a lot of laps of the gear circuit, inspection laps that took place over an hour, and I'm pleased to report, quite rightly, they were pushing on as well. They were really gaining in confidence lap after lap on their hour of testing laps this morning. Always, of course, if you are the safety car team at Macau, you know that you'll be scrambled from race control on a number of occasions, for that is the way that accidents are cleared up here at Macau. It being a street circuit, no runoff, then cars very often need to be recovered, and the safety car has a busy job, and this year it's the BMW the 2. So it was last year that BMW stopped referring to their various different categories of car as 2 Series, 3 Series. It simply became the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 2 right at the front of the field. Leading them around this incredibly demanding circuit. Well, we said how demanding it is. It has everything. It's a circuit that has everything. It ticks every box as far as an out-and-out racer would require of a motor racing circuit. This, the particularly testing mounted section, you can see how tight the walls and the barriers are to the side of the cars. They twist up their way through the Solitude S's towards Payol, left and right. Climbing, ever climbing. Peculiar when you walk the circuit, and obviously it's not a closed circuit for racing. It's just the streets that are set up for the Grand Prix, and you see buses making their way through these roads, and you do wonder, you stop and look and wonder, do they race here? Yes, they do. And it's an incredible feat in order to put on this Grand Prix, and it has existed for many years at Macau on the gear circuit. It's quite interesting the way that this race meeting and this circuit was first born, and we'll talk more about it as the day goes on. But in the meantime, first chance to see the grandstands. They will have all been looking forward to this event hugely in 2020, and always when they see themselves on the big screens here at Macau, the spectators very, very well catered for, with the live television pictures beamed around the circuit on big screens. And whenever the picture cuts to one of the grandstands, you see a hugely elated population of that grandstand waving and enjoying every single moment. And what is not to like? It is the gear circuit, the Macau Grand Prix, one of the ultimate tests of a racing driver and machinery as well. We're all good to go. The formation lap very much about getting heat into the tyres, and weaving the cars from side to side is what you would need to do in order to make sure that everything is up to temperature on the formation lap. So very keen to watch for the number 6 car making its way through the field from the back of the grid, having led the race and led it convincingly as well throughout the race yesterday. Kelvin Leung unfortunately came to a stop, therefore starts at the back of the grid and will be looking to make up places very early on. The BMW pulls off into pit lane. This means we are good to go racing in 2020 at Macau. Up towards the line they'll go, and when we get the word, racing will be underway for the Macau Touring Car Cup. Here we go, across the line they go, and the winner from yesterday, number 1, Wong Wan Long, just about gets a nose in front as they go through turn 1 at Reservoir, down towards the awesomely quick Mandarin. Just there in second place is the number 28 car of Geronimo Badaracco, very speedy driver and regular here at Macau. Chan Weng Tong, third in the Chevrolet, down towards Lisboa for the first time. Great overtaking opportunity, get a good run out of Mandarin and down towards Lisboa. This is an opportunity to overtake, but also for it to go wrong. And the red and white tyre barrier that you see on the outside of the corner, so very often catches them out here at Macau. But it's been a clean start, which is good news, and a bit of distance now already as they head up for the first time through the mountain section. For race winner yesterday, Wong Wan Long. The races yesterday were all qualification races, so they were shorter. They were all 8 laps in duration. Can't pretend that they were without incident. There were some challenges as the day went on, but now this is the challenge. It's a battle for the lead. Wong Wan Long in the Mitsubishi Evo 10, defending from the car of Geronimo Badaracco, Belém Badaracco, Geronimo Antonio, to give him his full name, and up towards the conclusion of the third sector of timing. The whole of the mountain section used to be one sector on the timing screens, and now it has become split into 2. So we have 4 sectors around what is a long circuit here at Macau. So you get even more information coming through on the timing screens. So they head up towards the constant yellow zone, so no overtaking through the Melco hairpin. Just incidentally, buses do go around the Melco hairpin. No overtaking in the race. Power goes down for Wong Wan Long, so able to pull away a little bit from number 28, Geronimo Badaracco, through the final couple of turns. Fisherman's Bend and R Bend to complete 1 lap out of 12 for the race winner from yesterday. Wong Wan Long up towards the line. What's the gap going to be between the leaders as they complete the lap? Because it looked like Geronimo Badaracco was, it's less than a second, it's 0.7 the gap between the top 2 as they complete lap number 1. But Badaracco, when they were in the mountain section, seemed to close right up on Wong Wan Long. The problem with that is there aren't any real overtaking opportunities. So if the car is more suited to that part of the circuit, well, it's one thing to close the gap, it's another entirely to catch. Has a look down on the inside, they go side by side. Further down, that's the 25 car of Chan Chi Ha, and they make their way around safely Lisboa. And this is a great example of clean racing for the Macau Touring Car Cup. First lap into the second lap, very, very clean indeed for the local drivers. Have to treat the gear circuit at Macau with immense respect, and that's exactly what they've done, particularly when they're racing as close as they are. Battles right the way down the order. And don't forget, of course, we've got the 2 categories, the overall categories represented by the 1950cc and over categories, but the Chevrolet Cruze of Geronimo Badaracco is in the 1600 turbo class, and once again, when they're up into the mountain section, the twisty tight section of the circuit, into the right-hander at Police, which so often can catch you out on the gear circuit, then into Moorish out of the corner, that can catch them out as well. So often you see them into the red and white tyre wall on the outside of that corner. But although Geronimo Badaracco can close on this section, no real overtaking opportunities, certainly not at the Macau hairpin. Single file, line astern, as they thread the needle and round the hairpin. Now the circuit opens up down towards Black Sands Fisherman's. And the race leader, Wong Wan Long, at the moment, is doing everything absolutely right. Through Fisherman's, our bend is the final turn. Wong Wan Long, Geronimo Badaracco, Chan Weng Tong, the top three, all Macau drivers, up towards the line to complete 2 laps now in a 12-lap race for the Macau Touring Car Cup here at Macau. And this part of the circuit where the power really comes in, bear in mind they're in different categories. So the 1950cc car of Wong Wan Long, the Evo 10, able to use that power on these incredibly quick parts of the circuit in the twisty section. You don't need to worry about the engine capacity, and that's when Geronimo Badaracco is able to close up. Still the same order. In 4th place, the 25 car of Chan Chi-ha made a place up on lap number 2 to the detriment of Mu Chai-Fai in car number 2. And what of the progress of Kelvin Leung? Well, although we're not seeing the pictures of the car, he has made good progress up into 7th place at the end of lap number 2. That's not bad. He's going to be in vision when we see the top 4 before too long. We knew he'd be making places up. There you are. Just saw the back of the car there as he up into 7th place at the end of lap number 2. And the progress will not be over yet for Leung Yang Weng, or Kelvin Leung, as he's known from the Song Weng racing team. Mitsubishi Evo 9, the car of choice, the evolution of choice, as the leader turns out of police into Moorish, 2 right-handers that can bite hard at Macau. On through the left-hander, very long left-hander at Donna Maria, and up towards the Macau hairpin once again on this, the 3rd lap. Fastest lap of the race. I don't think you'll be surprised at this. It is Kelvin Leung in 7th place at the end of the last lap. Now, as you can see, up into 6th position, threading around the Macau hairpin. And the fastest lap of the race, Kelvin Leung with a 2:39.270. 2:39.270 for Kelvin Leung. This is good news, good direction in the TV gallery to pick up on Kelvin, and he's marched through the order. The 78 car of Sang Chi Kong, Mitsubishi Evo 9, moving out the way to allow Kelvin through. So up into 5th place at the end of lap number 3. Across the line, cuts the timing beam, and shown on the screen now at the conclusion of 3 laps, with the fastest lap to his credit. That lap was a little slower, 2:39.848. But Kelvin Leung, who led the race throughout yesterday, throughout 7.5 laps of the race, and then the car parked up on the mountain section and allowed Wong Wan Long through to take the win. Well, he's leading the race now, but this is good stuff, being able to focus on the charge through the field for number 6, Kelvin Leung, through the mountain section. And yesterday he didn't get off the line the quickest. He had to fight back with Wong Wan Long to take the lead of the race back, but once he was there, he was able to really pull away and extend the gap. So back to the race leader, car number 1, Wong Wan Long, twisting his way up through this incredibly technical part of the circuit. into police once again. Still in second place, Geronimo Badaraco able to, in the twisty section, able to close up in the Chevrolet. And then when the power comes into play, once they have exited the Melco hairpin, that is when you see the lead car, the Mitsubishi Evo 10 of Wong Wan Long, able to exert authority on the field. This is where it happens. Big lock up there in third place for Chan Weng Tong in car number 42. Very much the shadow of Geronimo Badaraco, and that's the progress of Kelvin Leung. So Kelvin making up the places. It's on the back of the number 25 car of Chan Chi Ha. That's a Mitsubishi Evo 9. And there we go. We can see they're all in the same frame on the TV pictures now. Kelvin heads down on the inside at the conclusion of another lap, and more places made up by the charge of Kelvin Leung. Fastest lap of the race, don't forget, was in the hands of Kelvin Leung, but he also put in a fastest lap. He was in isolation on circuit for the majority of that lap, and therefore was able to put in a 2:36.626. So the march through the field is going very nicely indeed. Thank you very much. It's taken 4 laps to get up to 4th place, and very soon will be on the tail of Chan Weng Tong in car 42, and the leader will be within sight for Kelvin Leung, car number 6. Great display so far. Place made up on that lap by car number 7, which is Lo Man Fai in the Mini Cooper S in the 1600cc category. But this is the march of Leung Yang Weng, Kelvin Leung, up to 4th place at the end of lap number 4, and now right on the tail of Chan Weng Tong, the leader, very much within the sights of Kelvin now. 25, Chan Chi Ha, a little way distant from the leaders, and 2 1600cc category cars directly in front of Kelvin Leung. There's nothing going to be made up here, although he's having a look, isn't he? There is a waved yellow flag as they go through Moorish, and just able to nip round the side. So Kelvin Leung does make up a place up into an overall podium position now. It's a tight squeeze to make up places on the mountain section, but the number 42 car was dropping back, and therefore affording the opportunity for Kelvin to just slip through there and make up a place. So up into a podium position, Kelvin Leung now is looking at the back of Balam Badaraco. Geronimo Badaraco in the 28 car in 2nd place, leading his class, but Kelvin Leung has made his way through the field, right the way from the back of the grid. Super racing so far. 5 laps completed by the race leader, Wong Wan Long, in the Mitsubishi Evo 10. And Kelvin Leung pulls out, takes 2nd place ahead of Geronimo Badaraco. He knows that the power of the Mitsubishi is something that can't be fought against in the Chevrolet Cruze in the 1600cc category. So the job is almost done by car number 6, Kelvin Leung. 2:36.626 compares to 2:38.154. That's the best lap of the race, being held by Kelvin Leung, and the best lap personally for Wong Wan Long, the race leader. In the sights of Kelvin Leung, car number 6 twisting through the mountain section of the gear circuit up towards the left-hander at Teddy Ip, one of the legendary names in the history of Macau, and this the 67th running of the Macau Grand Prix. Kelvin Leung has in his sights the race leader. They watch on down in pit lane. Same TV pictures that we receive, they'll receive around the circuit. And Kelvin Leung into police. And that is the race leader. And you can see just how close Kelvin is behind in his pursuit of the lead of the race to make up for the qualification race yesterday. The disappointment with the retirement on the final lap of the race into the stationary yellows, which show throughout the race. No overtaking at the Macau hairpin. But now, what's the battle going to be between the top two? Wong Wan Long has already stood on the top step of the podium this weekend, and Kelvin Leung not able to finish yesterday. But will it be Kelvin on the top step of the podium? They're going to be in traffic soon as well. You just saw the 62 car, the Singapore entry of Paul Fan. And Kelvin slips through into the lead of the race. From the back of the grid to the lead of the race by the end of lap number 6. The half distance lap complete. And Kelvin Leung absolutely flying towards the number 62 Little Mini. The top two both go through. Wong Wan Long slips in behind, but yesterday, once Kelvin was into the lead, he was able to quickly put a bit of tarmac between the two of them. Wong Wan Long thinks twice about having a look down on the run towards Lisboa, through Lisboa, the famous Grand Lisboa Hotel in the background of the corner. You don't quite see it on the camera angle, but that's why the corner is so named. And Kelvin Leung presses on up into the lead of the race at the half distance point from the very back of the grid. Pretty impressive stuff, that. Kelvin Leung, Leung Yan Wang, also has the fastest lap of the race on the last lap, 2:33.567, so further improvement on his own fastest lap. He would have got up this morning and known that there was a lot of work to do in the opening section of the race. I wonder if he would have predicted that he would be able to complete that job by lap number 6, the half distance lap. Fantastic as well. We really are enjoying a very clean race, as we see a little bit of damage there having been inflicted on the 13 car of Luciano Castillo Ramirez. Mitsubishi Evo 9, as once again, 7th time of asking. Kelvin Leung through the Macau hairpin. Wong Wan Long twists his way through the corner as well. And then the power of the Mitsubishi can really open up on the run down through Black Sands towards Fisherman's Bend. Through Fisherman's, see normal Macau life on the roads in the background, the buses and the vans and the trucks in the background. Number 10 is Lam Wang Kwai in the Fu Lai Loi Racing Team Mini Cooper, and the race leader across the line to complete now 7 laps in the book for Kelvin Leung, and the advantage at the end of that lap as he comes up towards the number 10 Mini of Lam Wang Kwai. Through he goes. Doesn't seem to have had problems with any of the traffic today, Kelvin Leung, and presses on with 7 laps in the book, and having taken the lead of the race, was able to further improve on his own fastest lap of the race, a 2:32.320 on that lap. Coming up towards the back of the number 8 car of Wong Kar Hong, just in front of Kelvin Leung. A great livery, great design on Kelvin's car, really does stand out from the crowd. They plan and think hard about the designs and liveries, and in this particular region of the world, bright, colourful, shiny liveries are always the favoured choice of the drivers and teams. And Kelvin Leung's Mitsubishi is no exception. That car looks absolutely fantastic. You'll see it also a little later on this morning with the field for the Greater Bay Area GT Cup, the second of our local support races, essentially. Even though known as support races, you cannot underestimate just how important it is to these local drivers. They live all year to race at Macau. Past the 22 car, the Nissan GTR of Lam Kam San. And so far, Kelvin Leung, the car has been absolutely faultless. And if you bear in mind, it's now got beyond the point of the race that it had a problem and retired yesterday, because it was an 8-lap race yesterday. It was on the final lap of the race that Kelvin disappointingly retired, and he would have thought very hard about the journey that he would go through in the big race today, the 12-lap race, part of the 67th Macau Grand Prix, the Macau Touring Car Cup. Wherever you are in the world, welcome along everybody. The first of 5 races today. The Macau Touring Car Cup kicks off the action. The Greater Bay Area GT Cup will come next, and then on to the Macau Gear Race, the final race of TCR China in 2020, the Macau GT Cup, and then the Formula 4 Macau Grand Prix. So much to look forward to today. Settle in. It's a festival of racing today from Macau. Looking at the 25 car of Chanchi Ha, Mitsubishi Evo 9, and yes, waved yellows there with evidence of debris on the circuit. And just over towards the left-hand side of the picture, as we follow the number 25 car of Chanchi Ha in 3rd place, running pretty much in isolation at the moment in 3rd position. The only advantage with that, you can pick your lines perfectly and also pick the opportunities to get past the slower traffic through Lisboa up towards San Francisco and San Francisco Hill. Yeah, we've seen the damage on track there. We haven't quite worked out from whence it came. So just after turn 1 at Reservoir. And there we can see the car, which has come to a stop just beyond the first of the bits of evidence of debris on the circuit that can't identify the car at this stage. So back to the number 25 car in 3rd place of Chanchi Ha, and 8 laps completed now for Kelvin Leung. A 2:32.320, the fastest lap. The last lap in traffic was a little slower for Kelvin, 2:37.772. But that's contrast to the last lap for Wong Wan Long of 2:45.07 for Wong Wan Long in 2nd place. This is the traffic, the problem of coming up to the traffic when you're in the mountain section. Takes a little while to pick the point at which you can get past the slower cars. Kelvin Leung, race leader, car number 6. The Song Wang Racing Team prepared car, the Mitsubishi Evo 9, in isolation now at the front of the field, having started right at the back of the grid. And still we've got that debris and the stricken car a little further down. Are we about to identify the car in the picture? No, we're not. So it was still there, wasn't it? Green flag indicating the end of the incident. So back to full racing once you go past the incident. Overtaking allowed once again once you get past the green flag. San Francisco. And up the hill you go. You know what comes next. Let's see what evidence of smoke coming out from the Mitsubishi, the number 6 Mitsubishi. I don't know what the reason for the retirement was yesterday, but we did just see those wisps from the exhaust yesterday during the race. We hope nothing to worry about. We hope it's all part of the operation of the car and perfectly normal. 96 is the Mini of Chan Kin San, the Fu Lai Loi Racing Team Mini Cooper S. At the moment, Kelvin not able to negotiate that slower car. Blue flag indicating to Chan Kin San that there is a faster car behind. And through goes Kelvin up to police, having negotiated the slower car. And so close to the barrier on the exit of Moorish Corner they go. Now the 66 car is the car of So Ying Hong, Subaru. Getting a little airtime in 10th place at the moment. Once again, of course, Macau driver. Careful as you go through this yellow flag incident zone, and the 66 car leading from the 72 car of Lam Hong Fai down in 10th place overall. Just saw the Peugeot as well, the RCZ. We used to have so many of them in the Macau Touring Car Cup. Very popular car in this part of the world when it was in its heyday. And that is a race leader in isolation. The advantage at the end of 10 laps, 7.8 seconds over second place. Number 42 going very slowly indeed past that incident zone. Wong Wan Long still in second place in car number 1, some 7.8 seconds behind the race leader. Car 25, Chan Chi Ha, completes 10 laps for Kelvin Leung, and he'll be crossing everything inside the car, fingers, toes, making sure that everything is neat and tidy on these final couple of laps. He was within sniffing distance of the checkered flag yesterday, and it wasn't to be. Let's see if the Macau driver will start the day here for the 67th Macau Grand Prix in fine style on the top step of the podium at Macau. It would be a hugely proud achievement to do, and even drivers that have scored the win at Macau again and again, still the pride is never lost. What an achievement it is to win a race here at Macau. And Kelvin Leung gets closer, ever closer to the top step of the podium. Last year finished just off the podium in 4th place in the same Mitsubishi Evo 9. 25 there, still in 3rd place, Chan Chi Ha. And we are on the penultimate lap of the race. Through the Melco hairpin. Through Fisherman's for the race leader, Kelvin Leung. The number 6 car with the lights on, potentially to indicate to slower cars that the race leader is coming through, in addition to the blue flags. But 1 lap to go now for Kelvin, and he really will have to keep his mind off the fact that he was so close to the race win yesterday and didn't quite make it there. Let's hope that everything holds together, because this has been a superlative drive from the back of the grid, making up for the qualification race, flashing the lights, trying to make everyone aware that he's coming through nice and early. Wong Kar Hong in the number 8 car, just in front, the Mitsubishi Evo 10, through Lisboa. Beautiful driving by Wong Kar-hong, getting neatly out the way before they got to San Francisco. Not so neat coming out of the corner because Wong Wan-long goes through. So Kelvin Leung, there is a problem for the car. It happened yesterday on the final lap. It's happened again today. The final lap of the race, and Kelvin slows. Wong Wan-long goes through, and Kelvin drops significantly back already. Well, it looked as if everything was going perfectly. Wong Kar-hong got neatly out of the way to allow Kelvin through, and when they went round Lisboa, Kelvin was past the slower car, and then all of a sudden it looked to be a bundle of cars going through San Francisco. The reason being, he's cruising. Car number 6 is with a problem. So up through the mountain section and up towards the conclusion of the race, the number 1 car still very, very speedy indeed. Oh, and a retirement stoppage just after Lisboa for Lan Wenkwai. Little Mini having stopped down there on the final lap. But the race leader, car number 1, twists through the Melco hairpin, opens the car up, down through Black Sands, onto Fisherman's Bend, and the number 1 car coming up towards the number 7 car of Lo Man Fai, through Fisherman's, up towards the final turn of the race, the first race of the day at Macau in 2020 for the Macau Touring Car Cup, up towards the line, and the checkered flag for the number 1 car. 2 wins on the Macau Grand Prix weekend for Wong Wan-long. And what of Kelvin Leung? He made his way from the very back of the grid up towards the front of the field, and he's going to stop. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it to the checkered flag. Such bitter, bitter disappointment for Leung Yang Weng, and he's right in the middle of the circuit as well. Out of the car he will get, and the car has expired once again within touching distance of the checkered flag. What is the problem for Kelvin Leung? Chan Chi Ha has come across the line and once again finished in 2nd place. And with Kelvin Leung's stricken Mitsubishi in the middle of the road, he must be wondering what on earth he can do to get a little bit of luck in the Macau Touring Car Cup. Such disappointment for Leung Yang Weng. Green flag indicating to everyone else that they've got past the incident, but it's a win for Wong Wan-long, Mitsubishi Evo 10. Well, it's not necessarily the fastest car that wins a race. To win, you've got to get to the checkered flag, and for 2 days running, that is what Wong Wan-long has done superbly. Both days he was there in 2nd place and able to capitalise on the misfortune for the number 6 car of Kelvin Leung, and Wong Wan-long can be very, very pleased with the job he has done at Macau in 2020. A win in the qualification race and a win on race day as well. Incidentally, super race without the need of a safety car intervention. So very, very clean, very neat, very tidy. We've got a full 12 laps of racing from the Macau Touring Car Cup, which is a great way to start race day here in Macau. as the race leader on the slow down victory lap will be taking the applause of the marshals around the gear circuit, around the 3.8 mile circuit, and then such a sad sight. Kelvin Leung parked in the middle of the road as the race winner has gone past on the slow down lap. Well, drama already. The gear circuit at Macau always gives us drama, and for 2 days running in the Macau Touring Car Cup, that drama has come in the form of Kelvin Leung and retirement from the lead of the race.